Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Pretty Disabled. If you're returning, welcome. If you're new, welcome. Anyway, welcome. I wanted to respond to this really awful commentary by Candace. If you don't know her, I think you'll find out. I'll link the full video in the description or the comment section. And if you know her, you know her. Alright. I recently saw this video and it is utterly repulsive, disgusting, okay? The way that she responded to this model in the in a wheelchair, and the way that she spoke about it, it's just so disgusting. So let me just play the video. You can hear some of it yourself, and then I'll be doing my commentary as well.
Oops, I did it again, people, and not in a good way. Landed myself in some hot water yesterday. Very surprised. Suddenly I was being tagged by a ton of people that were in wheelchairs, and there's no other way to say it other than they want to whip my ass. I need your help. I'm in a lot of trouble. Let's talk about that. Plus, later on in the show, we're going to talk about Maren Morris, because she wants to be talked about. That's why she's always on her hands and knees in front of drag queen.
Alright, I don't know who this Maren, whatever, I don't know who she is, but girl, Candace, honey buns, you seem like you want to be talked about too, so let's get into that, okay? Let's get into that.
And gay people and saying, look at me, I'm not...
Okay.
Simpler than that. Just stop shaving with a razor made by a woke...
Okay, so now she went into an advertisement, so I'm gonna skip that.
And start a year ago with the show it to you, because it's or kick woke out of your... You know, we produce a show every single day, and we talk about various topics, and sometimes a rare thing happens where you end up in hot water in a situation that you really didn't give much thought to when you were offering a comment on it. Such is the case when weeks ago I did what has really become a regular beat on this show, and I discussed an ad that didn't make any sense to me. It was an ad featuring a woman that was sitting in a wheelchair, and she was promoting underwear. I commented on, this doesn't make any sense. This seems like another DEI initiative. Everybody needs to be included. Everybody needs to see themselves in a space. Again, this was weeks ago.
Okay, so you saw a model in a wheelchair, and that quote-unquote didn't make sense to you. Girl, you did not just say that. You did not just say that. No. You saw a model in a wheelchair, and that didn't make sense to you. What part of that didn't make sense to you, girl? What part of it, okay? The fact that disabled people have different interests and different goals in life, and some of them want to become models, and some of them did become models. That didn't make sense to you, like, girl, oh my gosh. I like to sing occasionally. I'm not the greatest singer or anything like that, but let me sing a little song, a little what you call parody song. I can see you hella, I can see you hella, BS. I can see you hella, BS. Ooh, ooh, I can see your hella, I can see your hella, BS. I can see your hella, BS. I can see your hella, I can see your hella, BS. Ooh, 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 ooh. Y'all, can you see this? Can you see this too, or is it just me? Is it just me, y'all? Oh my gosh. Y'all, comments, put it in the comment section if you can see this hella BS too. Because I can see this hella BS. Okay, let's go on.
Somehow it got unearthed. I believe that it was due to a Forbes article. And the writer of the Forbes article, first and foremost, let me read to you her bio. Her name is Keely Cat Wells, and she is the diversity, equity, and inclusion contributor.
All
Her
right.
bio says that she is a disability activist and the founder of C Talent. Okay,
Awesome.
fine.
Okay,
She wrote an
cool.
article entitled Disability Rights Advocates Speak Out Against Candace Owens' Harmful Comments on Disability Representation. And within the article, I'm going to summarize it, they have a woman who was featured in the Skims campaign. She is a disabled model, and she says, quote, "Seeing someone like you matters, representation matters." They then go on to quote another woman named Paula Carozzo, who is the creator and also a disability rights activist. And she said in this article, quote, "For the disability community, we are at the current peak of representation. Representation for us is as vital as the lungs we need to breathe." Okay? If representation and seeing yourself in an ad campaign is as important for you as your two working lungs that you need to breathe, that's totally fine. I have some things to say about that, and I'm going to say those things, while also later on getting to somebody who actually was much more reasonable in their assessment. First of all,
Okay, I see. So you got something to say about that. All right. So do I, honey buns. Okay. So I can't say exactly why this person would say, that it is as important as, one's lungs, but I can say, as a person with a disability, I can say why somebody may say something like that. First of all, we face a lot of discrimination if we are black, if we are disabled, if we are both. We face a lot of discrimination, both employment wise and socially. We face a lot of discrimination. We also face bullying. And, you know, even when we pursue our goals, right? And we become what it is that we wanted to become. For example, this model, she pursued that, she got that, right? First of all, you go girl. You go girl. You are beautiful. Keep shining your light. What did I say? Keep shining your light, girl. You got it. Now, even when we, as people with disabilities, even when we get there and we, achieve our goals, we have people like this talking awfully about us and essentially saying and insinuating that we don't need representation, that we don't need to be, seen in the media and in magazines or whatever, that we should just that this is like, quote unquote, essentially out of our league, right? We have people insinuating that, and that is utterly disgusting. First of all, girl, we do not need to explain ourselves to you. We do not need to justify the fact that we are humans and we have different interests and goals in life, and that we do what we can to strive and get there. We don't need to explain that to you. And girl, especially since you talk about hard work so much, like you should know, that it takes, hard work to achieve our goals. And, being human yourself, you should know that people have all kinds of interests, and they do what they can to achieve that. Like, you're not clueless, girl. You are not clueless. I think you might not necessarily use it for good all the time, such as in this case. I think you used it awfully, but I think you are intelligent, okay? Candace, honey buns, I think you are intelligent. You may not have used it the best way possible. You may have used it so terribly, but you are intelligent. I don't think that you are missing quote unquote education. And I see, quite a bit of people who might say something like, oh my God, that's such an uneducated, you know, take on the issue. First of all, I don't think there was an issue. First of all, this person was modeling, just living her life, doing what it is that she achieved. There was no issue to begin with, but this girl decided to make an issue out of it, right? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Okay, but girl, and to anybody who might think this is something to do with like lack of education, no, no, no. I think this, honey buns. I think you are so educated. I think you are intelligent, but I don't exactly know what it is. I think you're missing something else. It ain't education, and it ain't intellect. I think you're missing something else. Maybe something about, maybe empathy or sympathy. Maybe you're missing that. But I don't think for a minute that you're missing education or that you're not educated enough. No, no. But let's go on for a little bit.
First, let's debunk the idea that I am an ableist. I thought that was really, really interesting, that I somehow wanted to pursue disabled people and I wanted them out of spaces, because that is an absolute nonsense, first and foremost, as I said.
Okay, your commentary was absolutely, utterly ableist. Your commentary was ableist. Alright? You saw somebody in a wheelchair modeling and you felt that you had to speak negatively about that and talk about, oh my gosh, like I just it don't make sense to me. Okay, let's go on.
Or a listener to the show, you know that I often talk about my pet peeves of ad campaigns where you can no longer see the product that they're advertising for. So let's put Candace Owens on rewind, talking about that pet peeve months ago. Take a listen.
Okay.
Cannot stand this. It's a new, I guess, artsy fartsy trend, but like all of a sudden you're buying stuff online and now the models are posed in weird like gymnastics way, like you're trying to buy a shirt and they're upside down. I think Zara's really guilty of this new trend of models where I can't see what you're wearing. Like I'm online, I want to buy the shirt, I want to see what the shirt looks like. I don't really care if your model can do the splits. So please, let's stop this trend. It's really bad. Oh, I guess I'm hating on people that are able-bodied and can do the splits and can do back bends, or I'm just commenting on something that seems really stupid. And as I said, I want to see the product. I want to see the shirt. I want to see the underwear. Why are we doing this? Is this because we're just trying to be more inclusive? Are we trying to be more fun? What is the point of this? So again.
Okay, first of all, that is horribly. That's a horrible, okay, false equivalency. That is a horrible false equivalency. These models who are quote unquote doing the gymnastic poses, they have the option to not do that. They don't have to get into these poses, okay? And second of all, if you don't like seeing that, you don't have to see it. There are plenty of other models who don't get into those poses, and I doubt that any of these models do that. Like, at least most of them, I doubt that's all they do, get into weird or like what you call it, gymnastic poses. I doubt that they do that like full time. So even them, you can see them in other poses. There are times that you can see them, showing the clothing in a way that most likely, appeals to you. And if it don't appeal to you, cool, okay, fine. Go see some other models that, appeal to what it is that you're looking for. But first of all, that is a false equivalency. People with disabilities, they don't have the option to not be disabled. They cannot just snap out of it, okay? We cannot just snap out of our disability and suddenly decide to get out of our wheelchair and, stand. And I'm not talking about, somebody who's, ambulatory. I'm talking about, people who cannot do that. Oh my gosh. That right there, that is stupid, yeah. Y'all, like, that is stupid. That you think somebody getting into gymnastic poses is somehow equivalent to somebody in a wheelchair who's modeling, somebody who's disabled who's modeling. Like, that right there, that is what don't make sense, girl. Honey buns, that don't make sense. Let's go a little bit.
As I said, I got tons of hate, a lot of comments to sift through. I'm going to try to summarize the main points, which are very much like this article that was in Forbes. People said, if Candace were in a wheelchair, she would understand why representation and seeing yourself is so important. So to that, I can only say you must be new here. This is the exact opposite that I speak about. I spent my entire life fighting the idea that in order for me to feel like I'm allowed to be black or that I'm allowed to be a woman, I need to therefore see black women everywhere. That is the opposite of what it means to actually have confidence. I don't need to see Tyra Banks being a model. I don't need to see Tyra Banks wearing underwear, which brings me to the second thing people were saying. A woman wrote to me and said, I wanted to be a model growing up. Seeing this woman made...
Yeah, you don't need to see it, but yeah, here you are seeing it, okay? And also, people can say the same thing about you, girl. People can say they don't need to see you, sitting there and babbling about whatever. They can say that they don't need to see another Candace because there are so many other Candaces already. And, in the history of, media, there have been a couple of Candaces already. So why do we need to see you, right? People can say that about you too, girl. So, but yeah, here you are, in the social media, right? A black woman in the social media. Here you are, showing your face, talking about whatever. So, and it's cool, if it doesn't, if that doesn't matter to you, cool. Nobody's telling you, you have to, like that. You don't have to like that. But those of us who do, like, we have so many different types of food in the grocery, for example, in the grocery store, for example, and you don't have to buy all of it. But are you gonna stand there and be like, oh my gosh, why do we have oranges? Like, it don't make sense to me. So today I was at this grocery store and I saw oranges and it just didn't make sense to me. And I saw, like, I saw broccoli too. Like, oh my gosh, we don't have to see every food in the grocery store. Like, it just don't make sense to me. Like, and y'all, I was at the mobile store, and why do we need to see, like, Android phones? Why do we need to see different models of Android phones? Like, y'all, it didn't make sense to me. So let me sit here and talk about how, every phone, like, people just want to represent every type of phone model. Like, y'all, like, why do we need to see different phone models and different brands of cars and, different clothing brands? Speaking of clothing, you want to see clothing, okay? You want to see how that article of clothing looks on the model, right? Why do we need to see all these clothing brands? Like, it don't make sense to me. I just woke up today and I saw a different clothing brand. I saw a new clothing brand and it just didn't make sense to me, y'all. Y'all. Oh my gosh. We have blue, we have black and yellow and orange, and, like, we have all these colors of clothing. Like, it sounds like every like, people just want to represent every color of clothing. Like, oh my gosh.
He realized that I could be one.
Anyway, that's enough. That's enough for me. I'm gonna link the full video in the comment or description, whatever. Uh, and like, just before I go, she said something about, her wanting to be educated, if she, misspoke about whatever. Um, Girl, first of all, we don't owe you no quote unquote education. And like I said, I don't think your issue is lack of education. I think, you know, and if let me entertain for a second that it is because you're not quote unquote educated enough, you can hire somebody, right? You can hire and pay somebody to educate you on why what you said is problematic, on the issues that we face as people with disabilities. If you want somebody to educate you on that, especially you don't get to talk like that to us, especially when you know you essentially said that you don't want to see people like us, but yet you essentially want us to educate you. Girl, I can see your hello. Hello, I can see your hello. BS. BS. B. BS. I can see your hello. BS. BS. Ooh. Alright, I'ma just end it there, okay? I think that's more than enough, y'all. Anyway, feel free to share your comments. Uh oh, one more thing I want to add. We we deserve to feel beautiful, to wear clothing that makes us feel confident and beautiful and all that good stuff, okay? So y'all models with disabilities, if you want to wear clothing that makes you feel confident and show that to the world, go for it, girl. Go for it, man. Go get it. Go get it. Go. Go. We don't have to limit ourselves to just disability related stuff and disability clothing and whatever, and like some medical related stuff. We don't have to, that is great, of course, but we don't have to limit ourselves to just modeling those stuff. We can model, we can model, mobiles, we can model mobile phones. We can model phones, we can model cars, we can model anything that we want, okay? We don't have to limit ourselves to disability related stuff, because we are much more than just our disability. Yes, our disability is a big part of our lives for many of us, but we are also more than just our disability. So, y'all, let's get it, let's shine, and let's pursue our goals, and don't mind the haters. Don't mind the haters, okay? But know that you matter and you deserve, okay, to be part of what this world has to offer just as much as anybody else, okay? I want to leave y'all with that, and take care until next time.